All right. So I am winging it. I'm not using a script. I thought about writing a script. I don't want to do it. But I feel like my studio needs to be more productive, and so I thought I would make a video just kind of more from the heart, the way I used to do my old vlogs. Tonight is Friday. It's just about 7 o'clock Friday night, and here I am at my studio in Johnston, Rhode Island, kind of just like directly from work to here, basically. Haven't, put on makeup or dolled myself up or anything. We're just gonna go with the flow because that's how life is, you guys. So let's talk about this week. This week has been, we're closing up on the month of April. April, we know from looking back at the beginning of the month, the predictions that I made, predictions that other card readers and astrologers have produced, and April has honored it. It has honored what we saw coming, eclipses, shifts, stress, and a slowing down period, kind of something I said in my monthly reading was sort of the month of April emulating a Mercury retrograding, things moving more slowly, pieces coming together to kind of finish off things that maybe were already started, as opposed to something new coming along. If anything, it's like someone hit the pause button in the month of April. Now, I don't want to get ahead and start looking at, let's, do the energy for May. No, I want to just look at what's going on this week. And I'm going to use a couple of different cards. So I've been thinking a lot about this deck. This is my son's card deck that I bought for him one year at Christmas. The Animal Spirit Oracle deck. It's a really great card deck by Colette Baron Reed. She's made a lot of cards. And it's a pretty thick deck, okay? It's got animal symbolism, and the guidebook, very, very helpful. So I've been thinking a lot about the animal spirits. It's weird because right before I hit record on the video, I was looking at my cat tarot, which my husband got me, and I was like, I should use that deck. The problem being that I'm not very familiar with it, so things don't really, it's a straight tarot deck, and the cards are unusual, so some of them you can't tell what they are, and it takes a little bit of time, and I just feel like it would hinder me more than anything. It's kind of like that deck of cards that you have that's just kind of cute, and someone gave it to you, and they thought of you because you love cats. I've seen other card readers use the cat tarot. I don't know how they do it. It's good if you're doing an intuitive reading and you're just getting hits off of the cards themselves directly. But so anyway, my point being that I've been very interested in working with, connecting with the animal spirit. So they're going to be a part of the examination that we're going to do during this reading. This is like an April check-in. Why? Because there's a lot going on. And I don't know what's going on for each person individually who might tune into a reading like this. However, I'm curious to know, is it about work? Is it about personal projects that you're doing? Is it love? There's a lot happening with soulmate connections right now. So that's a biggie. So it's going to be very hard to do a collective energy pull. So tonight on my way to the studio, I stopped and I grabbed myself a pistachio mocha from Honeydew. It's pretty good. Actually, it's kind of amazing. My first sip was like, woo, yeah! And now I'm at my studio and I'm like, dang, I'm hungry! I haven't stopped eating in 4 days. All I do is eat lately. I'm gonna hope that that's a springtime thing and not something worse. Appetite out of control. No self-control. Okay. So let's throw some cards out and see what we can figure out. Also, I want to grab this Kipper deck. This deck is totally wild, you guys. If you listen to card readers and they say, you know, they're using the Kipper, it's this little deck. It's, they call it the fortune telling deck. And they're smaller cards, they're really cute. They got a handy little book, very informative. You need the book. If you're going to use the Kipper deck, you got to use the book. I can't tell you why. If you do card readings, then you'll find out soon enough if you grab a Kipper deck. Otherwise, you won't care. So I'm not going to get into it. But trust me when I tell you. It's very helpful to use for clarifying on a card reading. So we're going to get really into this. So we're going to use 3 different decks. We're going to use Kipper for clarifying. I've already mixed and cut my double deck of tarot cards, all right? And we've got our spirit animal oracle. So April's been sort of wonky. I want to look at what's been going on over the course of the first 3 weeks of April. All right, and then we're going to see what's coming for the 4th week of April. And then at some point down the line in the future, I'll get into the May readings. So and because it's a general reading, guys, I don't know what's going to fit for your situation. I can tell you this. Although a lot of us who are card readers break things down monthly or weekly or even daily by sign, meaning by zodiac sign, it's really just a way for us to group energies together, and people, you know, will find their messages. I know you guys will find them. But just generally speaking, astrological influences and other life and universal influences are very general, and they're going to apply to everybody kind of about the same. And how we approach problem solving in our life, what level of maturity, what point in our lives we're at, how we perceive the world individually, these are all influences that can help varying degrees of how much we're going to be affected. So, first week of April, there were a lot of like fighting, shocking surprises, sudden expenditures, which I think resulted in people maybe working overtime or being more diligent about working and earning that money, but pulling through. So, you know, April is tax time, so maybe this has something to do with it. And then going into the second week of April, it's kind of like, okay, springtime is coming around, and we're starting to kind of come out of ourselves and sort of let go of those long, dreary winter lulls that we're carrying around. Maybe kind of even laying down our burdens along with embracing the good weather. It's interesting, the Hermit in reverse came out twice. Weird. Because I kind of feel like when I see that, it's almost like when the groundhog shows his face or doesn't show his face kind of sense. Because when I saw that Hermit in reverse, the first one, I was like, yeah, we're sort of coming out of winter and we're going, oh, look, you know, it is springtime. Things are changing. We are in the next season. And that kind of happened in the second week of April. So now, third week of April, people are starting to like come in towards you. This is what I'm feeling is like, for some of us, people are coming towards us. They've got things to say. They want to have conversations. They want to take action. Could be anybody. Could be someone that wants to square away a grudge. So I got this as a message for someone who wants to repay a loan or be repaid for loaning money. Whatever. Could be the government. It is, again, tax time. Yeah, there's a feeling of like things that we thought we were going to continue to do because it was winter. We're like saying, oh, let's put those projects away. Let's put those plans away. Some people have been thinking about going to school for a certain thing, and maybe now they're deciding they want to do something different. Weird. Maybe they're dropping out of school. And trying to see what they can do with what they've saved up. There's something here about tapping into savings for something. I feel like people are trying to take action on things maybe that they couldn't in the past, possibly because of COVID. Maybe starting a new project, buying a new vehicle, going on a trip. Some people are starting to consider some serious family planning. These are a lot of new arrivals for the month of April. This is a lot of new arrivals of energy here, which, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just like, oh, we're not in winter anymore. Now we're in spring, and the mentality of spring is like emerging, budding, coming out from the deep freeze, getting away from what's comfortable, getting rid of the cozy blankets and getting out in the sun, that kind of energy. But along with that feeling of hopefulness, which might come from abandoning one project and looking at what you've been saving up to do and then maybe considering investing, there's also a lack of support, a feeling of frustration of what could be lost in the process. Interesting. We'll get some clarification on these. We're going to use the Kipper first for clarification. All right, so before I look into the last week of April, I'd like to look a little closer at the more. I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning of April because nobody really cares. We've already done that. I mean, there might be some interesting energy to look into, but it mostly feels like personally transformative, honestly. I had a card ready to come out and then it slid back. The Kipper deck is very slippery. So, interesting. Okay, yeah, I feel like, so for some people who are looking at, this card right here is where I'm pulling this information. People are looking at like this bounty that they have, and I feel like it's come from either something that had to do with a court case per se, or from the government, which means like tax money. So if you were one of those fortunate people, because also this card, the gift, came up. So I said when you use the Kipper deck, you got to go to the book. You don't use them intuitively. It's just not that kind of deck, trust me. I've used it many different ways. This is a very positive and enabling card. Okay? This card means gifts, aid, help, support, resources, rescue, and joy. And it's usually exactly what you need. I love that. That's funny because it also says that this card is a signifier of winter. So it's almost kind of like everything that you've saved up during the winter, just like I said, is now coming to usefulness. Not fruition, but usefulness. There's some purpose, some greater purpose that you can apply these things. Some advice that this card does give us is be open to the support of others. Be receptive to small positive gestures or proposals. This card can indicate a new job offer, a promotion, or helpfulness. And it's funny because I even said someone was maybe reaching out to apologize or like get reimbursed for a loan or reimburse somebody for a loan. It says it also announces a gesture of reconciliation or even a declaration of love. Take this gift and embrace the opportunity. This is a very lucky card that can take the edge off of nearby negative cards. It stands for happiness, praise, profits, recognition, or an actual gift, just like I said. Now, just because I intuitively got that information doesn't mean that we didn't need to read it out of the book. We have to read it out of the book, guys. So, courthouse, just to get more clarification. Somewhat challenging card. It refers to negotiations. decisions, tax offices, public buildings, general official dealings, and transactions being conducted. So yeah, this is definitely positive for some people, really positive, because the universe doesn't have to give wealth to one by creating poverty in another. That's not how it actually works, guys. I think a lot of people have been born into an idea of a lack mentality, and that's just not true. It's not true. There are plenty of resources for everybody. It just happens that what we believe, we conceive. How we think is what we bring about. All right, so definitely that row is talking about some kind of legal matter that went in some people's favor. So with that money that they're getting, they might be traveling. All right, so let's look at what's coming up this week, shall we? Because that's what we really came here for. It's like, I feel like everybody's kind of coming out of this like sleepy stupor, and they're all becoming this King of Cups. I feel like this is the week that anybody who's tuning in, you might be becoming a King of Cups. Let's find out from the Kipper who this King of Cups represents, what kind of activities or thought process is going on for this king. The Lovers. All right. Love, love, love. Who doesn't love some good love? Number 15. Okay. Let's read in the book, guys. All right. It's what everyone hoped for in the 19th century, the good match. Romantic love, profound friendship, loyalty, and trust are all represented in this card. Let's see. You can find love and faithfulness now. Let yourself be guided by your feeling and intuition. This card is primarily an indication of love or falling in love. In professional terms, it may show a workplace love affair. My, I didn't see it going in that direction. Perhaps it means that you love your work and that your heart and mind are in harmony. That's sweet. This card indicates love or friendship with a nearby person card. Okay, so I haven't pulled any other cards, but actually, the king is there. Ooh, maybe there's some love with a king, guys. Y'all girls and gay dudes, listen up now. All right. That's it? Let's see. Excellent, as long as it isn't near card H. Okay. So let's pull one more card just to kind of get one more Kipper card to bounce off that Lovers and find out a little more about what it's referencing. All right, this guy is trying to come out. Adjudication? Is someone falling in love with a lawyer or someone who works in a courthouse? Because there's a lot of that coming up here. Or could this be about marriage, divorce, something like that? Let's find out, because we're going to read from the book, right? This is a neutral card. This card stands for minor government officials, bureaucrats, clerks, school boards, zoning boards, and other types of boards or professional advisors. This person's decision could result in a fine, a fee, a permit issued or denied, the need to file, serve, or be served documents. Or it could be the finalization of a small family matter. So someone you go to for resolution. Interesting. Oh, there's more. This card indicates all public matters and advisors. Advocates, tax advisors, doctors. When this card appears, discussions or negotiations are necessary. In your personal relationships, judication describes clarifying discussions or debates. In professional terms, all participants in an advisory role are represented. Okay, so I think that these Lovers next week I think these lovers are having conversations about the nature of their relationship, the direction that they're going in, what's next for them, whatever the individual pieces are that need to be clarified. So I'm going to grab, I just want to do more tarot on this. I've got the Star. So there's something destined to happen here, King of Wands. There's more players in this, guys. There's more players. And decision making. 8 of Wands reversed, Hanged Man. So not an easy decision to make here. So there could be a lot of reasons for that. Let's check with the Oracle. Something is causing us some difficulty as we draw to a close in the month of April in terms of love or the love of work or a work affair. For some people, if there's like a love affair with someone at work. Oh, we're reading from the book again. I hope you guys don't mind. So we got the Frog Spirit, which says clear out the clutter. That is number 28. All right. Oh my God, I love frogs. So clearing out the clutter could be talking about like any kind of like clutter in a relationship, things that aren't working, things that are cause bickering, things that you've been carrying around that are like extra baggage, maybe like mental, emotional baggage. Maybe there's arguing. That could be in relationships or at work. I know for me, clearing out the clutter in terms of work, we're getting ready to move out of our building, so we are actually condensing items so that we can be able to move more easily when the time comes. So that actually is happening in my workplace. The other animal card we got was, I pulled 4. Moth Spirit, Surrender Now. That's number 39. Oop, I'm trying to show the number. There it is. So very curious about that moth. Moths can also be prominent when there are passed away loved ones that want to communicate with us. So that's a possible meaning for that one. We'll find out. Lizard Spirit. Interesting, we got frogs and lizards. Dream the world into being. Interesting. Number 38. So we got 38 and 39 and 28. 28, 38. So dreaming the world into being. Yeah, like taking advantage of a new opportunity to see things from a different perspective. And number 24, the Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. I have never ever pulled the moth, lizard, or electric eel. The frog I think I've seen before. So let's find out why. Maybe one of these will help you to understand in what way this reading is talking about you. All right, keep in mind there's 4 of these different cards. Clear out the clutter. Frog Spirit knows that while all other frogs are croaking away, this is a time for you to simply simplify and declutter your life so you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total cacophony, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. That's true. Some workplaces especially, or even homes, can become very noisy, a lot of chatter, a lot of activity, and it does distract us, I think, from our purpose, whether it's our purpose at work or our purpose spiritually speaking. Then, the next thing we know, our schedules and homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making and objects taking up valuable space. Even relationships need decluttering as they often become messy. Interesting. So we saw these cards come out about the lovers and about relationships that need decluttering, right? According to this frog spirit, that relationships can become cluttered. What does that mean for you? You know, in what way is your relationship cluttered? What can be cleared out? What's no longer needed? What's adding baggage? I think we just talked about all that. So, prioritize what you need, get rid of or give away the rest so you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Along with physical clutter, friendships are sometimes kept long past their expiration date, weighing you down with unnecessary baggage. Now is the time to let go. I feel like this book is just saying everything I just finished saying. That's okay. Whatever you need will appear when you need it, so release your grip on all that clutter that is making you feel anxious and burdened. Frog Spirit wants you to reclaim your space, unencumbered by shoulds, oughts, and could have beens. Let go and jump. You're free from all that old stuff. That's nice. I love that. It's a great card, you guys. Moth Spirit, you're on deck, Mothy. Mothra. I think that was an old creature from creature from back in the day. Surrender now. Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with Spirit, or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or an addiction? Interesting. This could definitely connect with the idea of the Lovers, and maybe the Judication, and being in the Hanged Man status. Is someone pursuing something too voraciously? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? My. Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love, of course, is a beautiful thing. However, when Moth Spirit appears, it is time to consider if you have gone over the edge in a relentless pursuit. Workaholism, that's a very strange word, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty, or even to a person, may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is needed. Let go of your excessive energy by channeling it in more than one direction. The fire burns hot, and you do not want to be engulfed by your passion to the exclusion of all other pursuits that matter to you. Now is a time for surrender and radical acceptance so that your drive does not cause you to flee or to fight. Spirit wants you to release your need for certainty and control so that you can relax into a more balanced way of using your Moth Spirit energy. Banish the shoulds and musts so that you can enjoy what is as you allow for what might be. Now that is very strange, isn't it, you guys? Because it says banish the shoulds and ought tos and musts. That was the same message in the frog card. Like basically saying something is past its expiration date. A lot of somethings, like get into the refrigerator and throw some shit away, okay? Open your cabinets, throw shit out. Now, oddly, I actually just did this in the first week of April. When I look at this this reading and I look at the first week of April and the Nine of Swords, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, oh my gosh, it's weird because I just finished telling you guys, like, there seems to be a setback, and then you lost some money and you're working hard to make up for it, but you make ends meet. That happened to me. I got the flu in the first week of April. I missed several days of work. I lost a lot of money in my paycheck, and it was a struggle. But when I started to feel better from the flu and could not yet go back to work, I started cleaning out my cabinets and rearranging them and I threw away a bunch of things that I didn't need. I emptied out food from the cabinets in the refrigerator. So anyway, it just seems to me that if we're all in the same universal energy, experiencing very similar things, some of you maybe needed to hear that message as well. It couldn't hurt, right? All right, so number 24, Electric Eel Spirit. Bring your ideas to life. All right. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of Electric Eel Spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you're meant to explore. This is what we're talking about for next week, guys, for sure, because this is where we saw the arrival of, like, the Lovers, the Kings, the Hanged Man, so something kind of upsets the apple cart, puts us into thinking mode. And also the Star, which is signals something of destiny or something that's supposed to happen, something's preordained, however you believe in it. It's something on a soul level. It's something spiritual. Okay? Um, Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path. So do not be afraid to act, explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come. This also coincides with the getting rid of things that don't work, okay? Because nobody is going to want to jump into something new if they're carrying around old baggage, guys. Come on, think about it. I can't wait to like get rid of my winter clothes or pack them up and put them in storage, whatever the case, and then change my wardrobe to my spring wardrobe. I mean, I was looking for spring clothes and summer clothes just today. The weather is changing. So again, it all ties together. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. So also the universe wants to bless it, you know? It's like, hey, if you do your part, we'll do ours. We're trying to spark some enthusiasm in you. We're that eel spirit. We're trying to jolt you awake. And I feel, too, for a lot of us, the energy's been quite stagnant because of COVID. So we do need a little bit of a jolt, okay? Some of us are dealing with some heavy old energies that just don't suit us anymore. They don't. Number 38, Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being. When was the last time you basked in the sun and allowed yourself to daydream, to imagine what might be and who you might become? Lizard Spirit appears when you're called to let your imagination flow and dream something new. Inspiration is available to you now if you're willing to slow down and let your eyes close a little, allowing ideas to dance in your head. What might come into being if you were to pursue your dream? Good question. How might you grow and expand if you allowed yourself to dare to believe in the impossible, making it possible first in your dreaming mind and then in the world as you co-create with Spirit? Give in to the power of imagination, and soon your dream will become clearer. The steps will reveal themselves, and what was ephemeral will begin to coalesce into form. Dream it and be it. Spirit asks you to dare to dream big. I know I said this also, guys, about what you believe you will conceive, okay? So if this has to do with work, if this is a career change, if this is a love situation, if you are not willing to do the work to make things change, nothing, it'll just stay stagnant until you do decide. But it's good to use the universal energy that's out there that can help push things forward and push your plans forward. And I'm telling you, this week coming up at the end of April is going to be like a projector, a projectile. It'll shoot you forward, okay? I'm just putting my cards back where they belong. Okay, so they don't get mixed. So I'm going to go live on Facebook, and we're going to look a little bit closer at these energies. All right? So my Facebook page is the Lilac Broom, just like the name of my YouTube page, and hopefully I will see some of you there. All right? Thanks for tuning in. Namaste.